Hi, my name is Jeff and I'm with Backup Beverage out of Frederick, Maryland, and today we're at the Winery. We're going to talk about some Belgian beers here today. We've got 7 fine ones for everyone to try. We have Rodenbach Alexander from Rodenbach Brewery. And that's going to be a mixture of 1/3 young and 2/3 old mixtures that are aged in oak fodders, and then they're blended and macerated with sour cherries, so it's going to be a little different than your typical Belgian ale. Next we have the Duchess de Bourgogne, and this one is going to be also a mixture of barrels from 18 months and 8 months. So it's going to finish with a smooth and rich texture, and it's going to have like a passion fruit and chocolate flavor with a long, dry, and citrus finish. Now we have the first of our 3 St. Bernardus. What we're going to have here, this is their triple. It's going to be a light, refreshing blonde ale. It's going to sit a little lower than their quad in terms of alcohol percentage. It's like 7 to 9%. Next we have the quad. That's the one that's going to sit about 10%. It's going to be much darker than that triple, and it's going to have a very fruity aroma with some complex taste, and it's going to have a long and bittersweet finish. The third, we got our Extra 4, and this is going to be the single. So we had the triple, we had the quad, and this is going to be the single. It's going to be even lighter than that triple. The color is going to be a nice blonde, light color. Now we got our Saison DuPont Farmhouse Ale. This is a good one. This one is brewed in the winter time, and then they age it in barrels until the summertime, and that's when they pour it, because it's originally used to refresh farm workers in the summertime back in 1844. Last but not least, we have Delirium Tremens, once banned in the United States just for its name. It says it encourages the overconsumption of alcohol, because delirium tremens is actually the tremors you get when you overconsume some Belgian style ales. So yeah, it was recently allowed back in, maybe because it was voted as best beer in the world. It's brewed with 3 different yeasts, and it's a Belgian strong ale sitting at 8.5% alcohol. And that's going to be our lineup of 7 different Belgian beers down at the winery. You want to try some Belgian beers today?
Please and thank you.
Rodenbach Alexander. They brewed it for their 150th birthday to honor one of their founders. So it's a good story too. But they age it in gigantic oak fodders that they usually use for wine. The tannins in the oak give it that nice taste too. So.
Okay. I can smell the oak.
You should smell the oak, a little bit of the cherry.
Yep. It's darn tasty.
Oh, that was very tasty.
Yeah, you guys had this.
It was so good.
Did you like it?
It was so good. It was
Well, because I brought these in and we were talking with you guys in mind.
I brought 2 of them up to my apartment, and
Did
my
you?
friends were trying them. They were
Wow.
like, "Oh, these are so good." It's like, "No, these are mine."
That's the 12.
Quite tangy.
Yeah.
We think sour beers are like this new thing, but really it's been around for a while.
I want to go through the whole
I
line.
love that. Okay. So the next one's going to be the Duchess de Bourgogne. Now it's interesting.
Oh, that's good.
Napoleon called this the Burgundy of beers.
Oh, I fear that's really good.
This one's good if someone really likes wine, but they want to start breaking into some Belgian beer. Start them off with this.
Napoleon knew what he was talking about.
Yep. Pretty accurate, I'd say.
This is another one that's kind of mixed with a little bit of their 8-month and a little bit of their 18-month. Usually the average age is about 12 months combined in the bottle. That one's obviously a little lighter with the sour cherries. This is going to be much darker.
Really balanced with both fruit and the weediness of the beer.
Yeah. This one's going to be a more traditional actual Belgian style, which is Belgian wit. By St. Bernardus. We have 4 St. Bernardus beers here. Kind of gonna move up the line. We have the Belgian wit.
How many are we tasting?
There are 7 in total.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got a good spread today. Yeah.
Alright.
So now we're gonna go to the St. Bernardus line. You've probably seen St. Bernardus around. It's probably our 2nd most popular.
Very light, very refreshing.
There we go. It's a more recognizable style if you haven't gotten into Belgian beers. Now we're gonna move on to the St. Bernardus Extra 4, which is their single, and it's had the same recipe since 1944.
God, it's older than me.
Yeah, it's old style.
That was good, yeah.
Good.
The gateway to the Belgian.
Yes.
That's a summer brew.
One of their lighter offerings. That was one of my favorite parts of St. Bernardus, is that they use that same yeast strain from 1944, and it's just hyper specific to their region, so you just couldn't get these flavor profiles here.
You guys import this, or do
Yep,
you?
we import all these actually. When we get further down the line, we actually are directly the importer of this guy right here, Delirium Tremens. Now we're starting to get a little bit heavier. Exactly like the 4, same recipe as from 1944. This one's going to be still a blonde golden hue, but it's just going to be more intense in terms of alcohol content. It's an 8, which is the more fermentable sugars, everything like that. You're going to get more flavor, more of a full body.
Bit more structure, bit more body.
Very full body. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. Absolutely.
Much more flavor
Kind
on
of takes
that.
that one and bumps it up.
That's
Absolutely,
pretty
yeah.
much, that was their goal right there. It's 8%, but you shouldn't really be able to tell it's 8%. That's kind of the sign that it's brewed well.
Exactly. It's not like whacking you.
Yeah, you're not getting that like alcohol burn you get. Okay, now you get to go with the big boy, the quad, the 10%er. It's gonna have a much different flavor to it, much different finish to it. I think it's gonna have a fruity aroma with some complex taste, but it's gonna have a long and bittersweet finish.
So if you look on the St. Bernardus beers, they have the monk, right?
Yeah.
So the brewer, when he was making the 12, every 1,000th bottle, every 1,000 bottles that they did, he had the monk wink. And he didn't tell anybody for a long time. And then he finally told the owner, the joke was out.
Oh, yeah.
The cool thing about Abbott 12 is they originally weren't brewing in a monastery, which if you're familiar with Trappist at all, that's like one of the big requirements. They like had someone brew for them and the profits were used for the monastery. They decided that that wasn't along with like the Trappist brewing belief, so they brought it back in, but they still use the very, very unique yeast strains that St. Sixtus, who brewed it before, so they kept that from 1945, which is very, very, very region specific, so you won't have like anyone from here finding that yeast strain laying around. This is going to be Saison DuPont Farmhouse Ale. Every farmhouse ale is a Saison, but not every Saison is a farmhouse ale. Technically, a farmhouse ale, they grow all the ingredients with the intention of making it into a beer, but it's like a farm, not a brewery, and a Saison is just the same deal, but not on a farm.
And I understand there's like no standard in the Saison. You just put
Whatever you have around that you can make in
Exactly.
there, that's kind of the fun thing. This one's going to be very light. It's only 6.2%, but you can get all kinds of funky flavors because it's kind of just whatever's around. They bottle age it, so you still get it kind of matures with it. So you're ready for nice delirium tremens. Yes, there we go.
I've seen the pink elephant for a long time. Never tried it.
This is our number one voted best beer in the world. I don't know if you can also see down here. It's imported by BBL Inc. in Frederick, Maryland, which we work directly with them in the same warehouse, so very closely with them.
this is awful.
It's so good.
It is.
It's a very complex flavors. You're getting a lot.
They know their stuff.
Yeah. I've never had anything like that before. That's amazing.
We work really closely with them. They've actually brought a lot of our sales reps and like management team over there. And when you go over there, they actually induct you into something called the Pink Elephant Society. And it's very, very cool. Now, Belgian beer actually has a pretty significant culture, and in 2016, UNESCO recognized Belgian beer culture as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity, acknowledging its deep-rooted significance in the nation's daily life and festive traditions. With nearly 1,500 distinct beer styles, including lambics, Trappist ales, and saisons, Belgium's brewing practices are celebrated for their diversity and craftsmanship. The culture encompasses not only the brewing process, but also beer-related gastronomy, such as beer-washed cheeses and culinary pairings, as well as the use of beer in cooking. This UNESCO designation not only honors Belgium's brewing legacy, but also highlights the importance of preserving cultural practices that contribute to the country's identity and social cohesion. Once again, this is Jeff with Backup Beverage out of Frederick, Maryland. You can visit us at backupbeverage.com, and thank you for visiting us at the winery.